Throw the housing playbook out the window because the data won't save you. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So throw the playbook out the window. The data won't save you. Listen, oh my God. Insanity, right? Welcome to the biggest artificially induced housing bubble ever witnessed in human history. You are living in historic times, my friend. This bubble is much different than the last real estate bubble. In fact, I used to hear that when I turn on this camera a lot in the comments. And if you're new, please jump into the comments. There are some great people in the comments. Thank you to everybody that jumps in there and helps each other. It's amazing to watch you guys. And I just can't thank you. And I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. But the reality is this. I'd hear that all the time. Scott, this time is different. The last crash was due to loose lending, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're right. This time is different. It's worse. Bigger bubble. Bigger blowback. Listen, friends, this is easy. This is an easy one for me to unpackage. It comes down to the psychology of people and the psychology of sales. And as a trained salesman, let me just tell you, friends, I saw it firsthand. FOMO, the fear of missing out. It took on a life of its own. Even in 2008, the biggest bubble on record, until this one came along and eclipsed it overnight. Faster appreciation, overnight appreciation, and never seen before highs. This one is worse because it had FOMO attached to it in the form of bidding wars. I don't even want to pay asking price, much less over asking price. Watching these people do that, I'm like, oh my God. This is insanity. And that's why I'm always going to protect you. I've told you the best way you can protect yourself. Most people don't do it. Real estate agents certainly don't offer this because they could lose a sale if they do. We need to know what your property's rent range is, ma'am, sir, even if it's not going to be a rental. Because if something happens to you, your income, health problem, financial issue, recession, lockdown, crisis, you name it. Oh my gosh, so much to choose from, right? We're one news event away from a flash crash. Guaranteed. We are living in really weird times. More division than ever. It's crazy. This thing, it was a runaway train. It left the station. It's not coming back, friends. We poured too much stimulus into the engine of the economy. It was nitroglycerin. It ran really good for a hot second. But we kicked the can too far down the road, and then we let the runaway and the inflationary war take place, and then we overheated the biggest asset class on planet Earth, and that's a recipe for disaster. It's better to be prepared for something to have not happen than have something happen and not be prepared. Forward thinking, critical thinking, reading between the lines, looking between the cracks, keeping our thumb on the pulse of this thing. That's our job. And that's going to segue me into why I turned on the camera today. You know, I noticed that a lot of programs now on cable television even are starting to operate like this channel, just a podcast, a guy or whatever. It's almost got this podcast climate going on out there, like a YouTube. Every news network now, make sure you give our YouTube channel a follow. I mean, everybody's on YouTube. That's what most of us are watching now is YouTube. Most of us watch it because we can't trust mainstream media. Now, hopefully, as free speech supposedly is going to be able to, unless censorship and fact-checking take place and all this kind of baloney that was stifling people's voices so narratives could be met and dictated and ushered in, hopefully we'll have a little more transparency. But here's the thing, friends. Now what we're seeing, and I've reported on this before, this market, the biggest asset class on planet Earth, the housing market, U.S. real estate market, it's already got a lot to contend with. If something doesn't come out of left field and shock these markets, the second mainstream media starts to report on the financial stress that's being placed on our economy, we are in big trouble. And that's exactly what's going on now. I'm seeing more and more programs start to now talk about the things we were talking about when it all started. When we actually could have probably saved off a lot of this stuff. When I was warning you, listen, the housing market's exhibiting bubble behavior. Proceed with caution. Get in the hands of the right people. If you're carrying a mortgage, make sure the mortgage is within its rent range. That's all you can do. Plus, that's all you should be concerned about doing anyway. Most people had tunnel vision. FOMO. They were ready to buy at any cost. They could care less what their property's rent range was. All they wanted to do was own. And now these people are paying twice, double what the house would rent for. They have no choice. And their houses are reversing course. They're no longer worth what they paid for them. And they can't rent them out as an option. They'll have one choice, foreclosure. That will be the only choice. And we had over 20 million houses sell during the crisis. In the last financial crisis and foreclosure crisis, that's all it took was 20 million less to cause the great financial crisis and great recession. The backbone of our economy was the housing market. We lost it, and it took the economy along for the ride. So you have to understand the waters you're swimming in right now. Have to. And I'll protect you every step of the way. Just hearing these messages are protecting you, because if and when this thing plays out, you're like, I kind of heard this talked about. I'm halfway expected it. So I'm less like a deer in the headlights, where the other person that drank the economic Kool-Aid, they're not going to be able to operate efficiently, especially in this go around, worse than 2008, like I said, because if you put that much pressure to buy a house, the last thing you want to do is lose the house. Acceptance is the answer to all your problems. The sooner you accept your situation, the sooner you can move away from that depreciated asset, that anchor, that falling knife that you're toting around, and start fresh. You're going to have cleanup on aisle 3. It's going to take years to do it. You'll learn an important lesson. You definitely won't want to go through it again, but you won't regret it, because you're going to learn a very valuable lesson. I want to encourage you. If this is you, I don't want you to think that this is the end of your life, financial life. It's going to be a setback. But even the biggest investors on planet Earth have suffered. I mean, if you want to play, you're going to pay. It's not if, it's when. You're going to take some lumps in life. It's not all unicorns, rainbows, and sunshine like the media or the leadership wants to tell you it is. It's not. This is the real world. Unfortunately, we've come around and now tried to just do everything we can to make sure it's rainbows and sunshine. It's not the way this country was founded. Capitalism is the way it was founded. And we're taking that away. And we have a division of wealth, a transfer of wealth. We have the poor and the rich. The middle class is gone. And the middle class used to be the backbone of our economy. We've got headwinds. Massive. So back to my point, what caused me to turn the camera on today. Seeing a lot of news shows, and I know you are too, now talking about the things that we've been talking about. We were talking about 2 years ago. Where were they? Where were they 2 years ago when we were telling them, hey, you can't overheat the housing market. It's going to have blowback. It's exhibiting bubble behavior. And now we see what's going on. It's reached its tipping point. Even if, I know a lot of people, probably in the comments, if you're a real estate agent, definitely, the Fed's going to drop interest rates and we're going to see buyers come back to... No, you're not. Not at the levels we did. You are not putting lightning back in the bottle, even if we had another crisis ushered in and initiated all the stimulus measures, programs, and money that were dumped into this economy that we saw before in the form of checks and PPP and forbearances and eviction bans and everything else that goes along with it, low interest rates. You would not be able to do what happened before, because inflation and wages didn't keep up with this. We already eclipsed that to the point, if we eclipse it again, it's game over. Game over. Buyers are tapped out. They're broke. The savings rate is at an all-time low and debt is at an all-time high. We are in massive trouble. And even it's not going to happen fixing this country. We're going to probably fix a lot of things. We're definitely instilling a lot of hope. People are hopeful again, but hopeism isn't going to just save you. It can't save the financial markets. Hope is good because it'll give you the ability to dig deep and keep fighting. But hopeism isn't going to fix this. So when I see news shows now talking about, well, mismanagement in the last administration, we're going to blame him and her and that and this, and we're right. The last administration, they should be responsible for this because they were running the country during this mess, and this all happened under their watch. They need to take responsibility. Unfortunately, they've been ushered out. So we have cleanup on aisle 3 from our new administration, which they're going to do, and they're our best shot to do it. Unfortunately, there's only one thing that's going to fix the U.S. housing market, and it's having it correct. And right now, for all intents and purposes, we are in the correction phases. We don't see those appreciation rates doing what they did anymore, do we? No, they're flatlining at best. And in many of our metros across America and just neighborhoods across America, it's in fact days on market, and price reductions now are increasing, and foreclosures are increasing, and distressed homes are increasing, and missed payments are increasing, and everything, defaults are increasing. Cars and homes, those are the two biggest purchases we make in America, your home and your car. That's it. And people are defaulting on those. They're distressed. And the prices have doubled on all these commodities and assets in real estate. And we just can't have that. So when I see news shows now wanting to give real talk, a little late. Where were you warning people when we needed you? Where were you? In these real estate websites, CEOs, the red hot housing market, we anticipate this and that and growth and this and that. We're iBuyer programs and Airbnb and you can't miss this and that. It was a casino climate, and they poured gasoline on the economic fire. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy that wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the waters you're swimming in now, they're shark infested. The playbook out the window, the data will not save you. We are one news event away from shocking these markets, and even if we didn't get a left field news event to shock these markets, which more than likely we are, there's so much going on in the world today. Insanity. This thing couldn't tolerate overnight appreciation and never seen before highs. Some areas are going to be able to retain some of those run-ups a little longer than others, but other areas are already reversing course. The writing is on the wall. My advice, and I'd never suggest anything that I'm not willing or doing myself. Insulate yourself in these times. Save your money for a rainy day. It's better to be prepared for something and have it not happen than have something happen and not be prepared. If you're buying property today, if you're looking at property today, if you're interested in property today, which I strongly encourage you to do, whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, or next year, get your agent in place, an agent that's in better shape than their clients, willing to put your needs before their own and kick the tires and shake the trees and test sellers with offers. Get in the game. Make sure your cost to carry is under its rent range, that this property could operate as investment property if it needed to, even if it's your primary home or second home or whatever type of home it might be. You should always have your payment under its rent range so it has the ability to function as an investment property, because 95% of all millionaires made their money in real estate following that method, not being tied to an upside down asset for the rest of their life that goes down like the Titanic in one of the boom bust cycles. And that's why I'll be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media link in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network, top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It would be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, gonna love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless. I'll see you on the next video.